Live.
I go.
Bobby D, what's the word, brother?
What's the word?
Yeah. Crazy last few days.
You know, it's funny. We have probably our most impressive guest that we've ever had. And that includes, like, we had the #1 New York Yankee prospect in all of baseball.
Yes.
You know,
We had a couple good swings.
we've had the founder of one of the most successful nutrition companies in the world. We had him on our show.
Yep.
We had the #1 income earner in that company on our show. a guy that sold an internet business 20 years ago for $550 million. We had that guy on our show. But I think today we got a guy that kind of outdoes them all because of what this guy's achieved. Imagine, Mike, at the age of 61, you know, me and you were always yelling at fat people.
All
right?
the time.
Oh,
yeah.
well,
Getting on it.
Get together. Let's go. We want you around, right? Well, Fred at 61 yelled at himself and turned his life around and lost 100 freaking pounds at the age of 61 and did it.
That's amazing.
Did it like, you know, the natural way. No surgeries,
Did it on his own, I guess, right?
No gimmicks, no, take this pill and you're going to lose 20 pounds in 5 months. You know, none of that.
That's just bullshit.
Stupid shit.
Yep.
But before we get to him, it might be even a more crazy story because, ladies and gentlemen, the guy that I'm talking to right now probably should be dead.
Should be dead.
What
happened
to you?
That's a fact. Well,
tell the story. What happened to you this week?
You know, Bob, I've been riding motorcycles since I was 16 years old. You know, and I had my fair little spills and falls, but I've never gotten to a major accident with it where a car kind of collision. So I have actually a collector's item, a bike. It's a Ducati Monster. It's a collector's item. I barely take it out. I only take it out just to kind of get the oils and the gas pumping in it, and I put it back away. Maybe 2 or 3 miles, maybe not even 10 miles, you know, for the whole summer, maybe not even. Like I just to maintain it because it's a collector's item. So I went to take it out on my little spin. It's literally a 7 to 10 minute ride from my house to the turn and back. So I'm driving down Central Avenue, one of the main streets in Westfield, and I'm driving on the way back. So I'm heading west on Central Avenue, and as I'm heading west, I see a white car heading eastbound. Not thinking much of it because it's way ahead of me. So as I'm, driving more, they cut off into the middle lane and kind of speeding up a little bit. So I slowed down a little bit. I'm only going 20, 25 miles an hour because I'm in, it's in a town setting. So as I'm approaching this driveway to get into this plaza, now I see it's a female driver. She stops, and it's almost like she waited for me to get into the line of traffic, and then she tries to dart in front of me and literally hits me head on. Like, again, I'm doing about 25 miles an hour again, and hits me dead on, and I actually fly in the air. 20 yards I'm going in the air. And at the time that I hit, first of all, I said, this can't be happening. I can't believe this person just did this. This is unreal. It felt surreal. And as I'm in the air, I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, I got to get my daughter from school. How am I going to get her from school right now? Holy shit, man, I can't believe this is still happening. I can't believe I might not make this fall right now. And as I'm going down, I'm like, all these crazy thoughts are going through my brain about life, about where I'm supposed to be. I'm like, this can't be it. I land right on the curb, and I smash up against the curb, and I'm trying to get up, but I can't get up at this point, and I can't even feel anything on my whole left side of my body. So my whole left side of my body went numb, paralyzed, whatever you want to call it. I couldn't feel anything. And I'm trying to move, but then people start coming from all over and says, don't move, stay down. And I go to look up, and I turn over. I go to look up, and I see my shoe in the middle of the highway. So I'm like, what the fuck? And I can't look down because I can't look. And I'm like, is my leg still there? Because I couldn't feel my leg or anything. The guys were saying, do you feel this? I'm like, I don't feel anything. I feel, on the right side of my body, but I don't feel anything on my left side. The first thing I had is, I reached into my pocket because I'm like, I got to take care of my daughter. I got to make sure I'm supposed to pick my daughter from school in like 15 minutes. She's going to be there. Like, where's dad? So I actually called my ex-wife, and she actually rushed to the scene. She was there pretty quickly, and she got most of the information because I didn't know what the hell went on. They rushed me to the trauma center in Newark. I don't know why Newark. Newark's not the best place, but they rushed me to trauma center in Newark, and they actually did take a real good care of me there. They get me there, start prodding, poking at me, put me through all these scans. Finally, the numbness wears off, and I can start to feel some sensation in my left side a little bit, and the pain just came full throttle. I thought I may have shattered my whole leg. I thought I broke something for sure. They put me through all these scans, all these x-rays. About 6 hours later, by the way, morphine is awesome. I had a great morphine drip. That was great. But all joking aside, the doctor comes back and says to me, Mr. Hurley, I got to tell you, I've been doing this forever, his whole life, and anybody that comes into the trauma center from a motorcycle accident is either dead, paralyzed, or severely broken bones. And he said, you have not one thing on your body is broken. Not one thing on your body is disrupted. You have maybe some ligament pulls or tears in your ankle and left side. It's a little bit of nerve damage, but that seems to be fine. It's coming back well. If you can walk out of here tonight, you can go home. And with that, I told the nurse, I said, give me a little more of that morphine because nothing's broke, so I can walk on it. Let me get out of here. So I ended up getting out of the hospital that night. And the whole time I'm reflecting about life, about what your purpose is, about if you doubt there's a higher power, the doubt should be over. Like for me, I never doubted. I have a very strong faith. This is just one of many stories that I should not be here. I can go into that. I'm probably going to go into another series, to be honest with you, maybe Thursday night or Friday night, where a litany of different details that, I should have been checked out a long time ago in this world. Also got the report back just now from, what happened to the motorcycle. The motorcycle was actually, when it hit, the whole frame twisted. So the motorcycle completely twisted. It's done. It's like basically broken in two. So the hit itself, they said, should have killed me right before anything. And the fact that it shot me another 20 yards, it was pretty scary. No head trauma, no nothing. And I got to tell you, at this point of the day, it was at like 2 in the afternoon, and 2 in the afternoon, in that area, Central Avenue in Westfield and Clark Connection is packed. It always has tons of cars, and it was eerie where it was almost like vanilla sky. There was no other cars besides me and this other car on the road. So it was the airiest thing that you can ever imagine, because I looked up and there was no cars still coming from the east side, no cars coming from the west side, and I'm saying to myself, how is that possible? Now, I know they stopped traffic going in my direction where I got hit, but the other side, there was still no traffic coming. So it was just kind of weird how it was all like transpired at that specific moment in time, and we all have a purpose in life, and to fulfill your life. And I always say this, we always talk about this, is like, you're only here for a flicker. You don't know when you're going to be here, you're not going to be here. And, I vowed to myself to never go with a day without telling my loved ones that I love them, without going and showing appreciation for those that are close to me and near me and dear to me, just like yourself. And, to always give back. I'm all about giving back, and even more so now. Like, I always like to give back to people, and, we go on our rants and our raves about, hey, we talk about fat people and all this other stuff. But I hope people do understand that we're not doing this to shame people or to discriminate against anybody, but we're trying to wake people up. They call people woke on that left side, but we're trying to really wake people up to real reality about life and how you should treat yourself as well and others. So, there was so much reflection going on for me for the last, few days. It was an unbelievable experience.
Who has a motorcycle accident and doesn't break anything, not even like a finger.
Bob, if you saw where I flew, I literally 20 yards. I mean, the football field. Think about 20 yards on the football field. I looked up and I couldn't believe it. I was like, how am I here right now? What the fuck just happened? It blew my mind.
I think it's a testament to the shape you're in. I
Thank
mean,
you.
we tease about it like you got a lot of padding, right, to protect your bones.
Yeah.
You're in terrific shape. And I think it's a perfect segue to bring Fred on because you talk about purpose. Now, Fred's not just a guy who lost 100 pounds. That if he was just that, he'd be an amazing story.
Mm-hmm.
But Fred's a life coach, Mike. He's for 14 years, he's been helping people find their purpose.
That's amazing.
So you're going to love him. I met Fred probably right when he just got started in the industry. I want to say somewhere around 2008-ish is when I met him. He actually did a talk for my group, my Vima group.
Wow.
We had a meeting in Kenilworth, and he came and he spoke, and he was terrific. He's a student, a big reader. He's probably read. He'll tell us, but I'm assuming he's read over 100 books. He's a big believer in the stuff that we always talk about. What the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve.
Without doubt.
So I almost think it's weird how this happened to you on the week we're bringing him in, because you talk about a purpose in your life and a vision that you've always had, and you always overcome adversity. I know a lot of your adversity that a lot of people don't, and you've always managed to rise above it and be better than yesterday. And here you are, bro. Like, not only like you should be in a hospital, you should be in traction. I mean, I know motorcycle victims. I know some of them very intimately, some good friends who, to this day, hundreds of broken bones, like chronic pain, some dead.
Yeah.
Like, no one survives a motorcycle accident and is able to. I mean, you actually worked the next day. Am I wrong?
As funny as it says, it happened on a Thursday, like 2:00. And I get paid for the hours that I put in. If I don't show up to work, I don't get paid, and I need to make money to do what I do.
Yeah.
And so the next day I had 9 sessions, and I was like, how the fuck am I going to do this on? My leg was still numb. It's swollen. It's very swollen. It's pretty banged up. But I was like, I can't let this stop me. I'm not letting anything stop me. I'm gonna get through this work day, and I'm gonna fucking work out. I'm gonna do my upper body. I'm gonna do a workout. I had to take my daughter shopping for the weekend to Woodbury Commons, which is a ridiculous plaza that I'm cobbling around on fucking crutches, so she gets school fucking stuff. But it was all good. It puts things right from my. I tell you what, we talk about purpose, and I said to myself, I think I said to you as well. I said, I love personal training. I love touching people on a one-on-one basis, but it's time for me to touch people on a bigger basis, because there's more than just one-on-one personal training. Because the way we talk now, I do that to each one of my clients as well as I'm training them to motivate them throughout the day. But I think we have a bigger purpose now, and it's I got to put that thing in high speed, because I won't, unless I was crippled, unless I was breathing through a tube, I will show up to work every day and give it 110%, no matter what I have to do. That's just the way my mother brought me. My father raised me. It's like if you can walk or you can crawl, you keep moving forward, and that's what we do. My whole life, since I can't tell you, since birth, I've been fighting for that next level, and we're gonna keep fighting until we get there.
Awesome stuff. Les Brown said it right. If you could look up, you can get up.
That's all I did.
You turned around, you looked up, and you got up.
And I started bear crawling. I literally on the floor, my leg dragging. I was bear crawling because I was like, I gotta get my shoe. The guy was like, dude, don't worry about your shoe. I was like, no, I gotta get my shoes in the street. I gotta get my shoe. but
Yeah.
they wouldn't let me move. But
The
it's
only
just
thing,
that mental. You're a little mentally crazy as well. But
the only
but then
thing
I said to myself, I said, was this? Did I know this lady? Was it like an ex-girlfriend or something like that? What the fuck? Because I swear to God, I thought it was purpose. I thought it was like, there's no way this is happening. There's got to be somebody supposed to pay her off. And like I said, I called Maria. I was like, did you pay anybody off? I thought we ended everything really well. We're like best friends. Like what the fuck? So.
the only thing I'm pissed off at you is that you have this story. This couldn't happen next week because we have a great story with Fred, and now we just destroyed it. We're having two of these amazing stories on the same show.
Listen,
Not good.
next? God knows what's going to happen to me next week. You never know.
Can you have another accident and survive
Well,
next week? Is it possible?
there's one more thing I want to end with, and we can bring Fred on, is that this too shall pass.
Yeah.
I tell everybody all the time, good times are going to pass, bad times are going to pass. It's the attitude that you bring to the table that's going to tell you, what your outcome is. Now,
100%.
I get up every day, whether it's a good day or if I'm not having a good day, with the same intention to do the same job, to put out the same performance. It don't matter if my day is bad or not. Nobody cares like my clients don't care if I had a bad day. My clients do sympathize that I got into a car accident like that. Yes, I get it. But it's all about them. It's all about the other. So we got to get up and perform every day, no matter what. So it's all about your performance. So go out there, everybody, and perform.
Awesome.
No excuses. No excuses.
So speaking of performance, we're going to bring Fred on.
Bring him on. Let's go, Fred.
Right, so Fred, there he is.
That's probably the best opening act I've ever had to encounter in my life. Now,
Great to meet you, Fred.
Great to see you, Mike. Good to see you alive. Hi, Bobby D.
Fred, how are you, my brother?
Never better.
It's unbelievable. So we want to get right into the juice here.
All right.
So you're a fat bastard your whole life, pretty much.
This is listen, Fred, this is what I do for a living. I try to mold people to get to where your level is. So I'm really interested on your story, on how you did it.
Yeah.
So your whole life, Fred, you battled the weight. You told me you did some of the, the diets up and down, but your whole life you've been a big guy.
I was an athlete in college and high school. I played baseball at Flagler College in St. Augustine. I was in good shape, for that period of time. And then a couple of years after college, I graduated in 1981. So from about the mid 1980s until 2021, when I decided to go on this journey, I've been overweight, and it's just gotten gradually worse. I've been on the weight gain, weight loss roller coaster. I call it the un-merry-go-round. And using the certain to fail strategy of diet and exercise. And what'll happen is one bad weekend or one vacation, I'll go off the diet, and that'll be it. Then I'll put the weight back on. I'll get disgusted with myself, and then I'll decide to do it again, and I'll try a new diet, and I'll try a new exercise regimen, and 30 or 40 pounds will come off, and then I'll get right back to eating the wrong way. And that a lot of people can relate to that, because that's where a lot of people are. They do the weight gain. They try to lose the weight using an outside in strategy, and that is the wrong strategy. You have to, any manifestation got to be from the inside out. You got to create an image of what you want to look like. You got to plant that image in your mind, and then you got to live into that image, making the appropriate changes of your lifestyle, eating better, getting your body moving, thinking like a thin person. All of those things come into play when you're doing it from the inside out. For the outside in, all you're doing is saying, okay, I'm going to give my health to you. You're going to provide the food, like the catchphrase from that one advertisement. You eat the food, you lose the weight.
All right.
It's that simple. It's not that simple. It's got to be something far more than that. It's got to involve the entire being. And that's really the realization I came to in March of 2021.
So March of 2021, you're starting to think about it. You also have strong faith, and you're like, I need something. God, you got to give this to me. And then you walk into a bookstore. Tell that story.
They're crazy. Well, before the bookstore, I decided, I was reading a book called Bright Line Diet. And on page 3 of that book, Bright Lines, she says, of the obese people who try to lose weight, 99% will fail. And of the precious 1% that succeed, most of them, a majority of them, will put the weight back on. And I could not believe that statistic. And I put the book down, I closed my eyes, and I imagined myself sitting across from Jesus. And I said, I am a 1%er, but I don't know how to do this. I'm giving this to you. I'm confused on what I'm supposed to eat. I've tried and failed 25 times, and I can't fail again. I have to find the right solution. I have to find the right path. I'm praying to you for divine guidance. A week later, now I didn't know what I was going to eat. I didn't know if I was going to go on a keto diet or whatever. I'm walking in the Barnes & Noble bookstore in Lake Grove, New York. And as I'm walking to the novel section to buy a novel, for reasons I can't explain, it was as if someone took my head and swiveled it to the left, and my eyes caught whole food, plant-based eating. And I said, I don't think so. I'm a meat eater. I didn't even stop to look at the book. I went, I got the book, the novel I was looking for. I bought it. I checked out. And I could not get that incident out of my mind. Why, at that moment, did my head swivel to the left and see that particular book at that moment? It was as if the book jumped out of the aisle at me. And I tell my coaching clients, when you send something out, when you send out a big idea, a big image, a big goal, be prepared to get answers. Things are going to show up for you. People are going to show up. Books are going to show up. YouTube videos are going to show up. You're going to bump into someone who's going to give you a great bit of advice, but live with the confident expectancy that that's what's going to happen. And here I was, a week after I said the prayer, and I find a book on whole food, plant-based eating, and I rejected it. I was being a hypocrite. So I decided I was going to look into whole food, plant-based eating. I read a bunch of books. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos. And I came home one day after a couple of weeks of doing my research, and I said to my wife, I think I want to try whole food, plant-based eating. And she said, okay. We started March 14th, 2021. And that's a year and a half ago. I'm down 100 pounds, and that's one of the main reasons.
Love it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Mike.
That's
amazing.
Listen, Fred, what you just said is I try to tell a lot of people I work with the same thing. And I love that you said, you just fortified everything I said. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That was perfect. I mean, it's a hard sell to explain to people, that type of eating, that type of lifestyle, and it's not really a diet. It's just a lifestyle.
It is lifestyle change,
and you're gonna feel better. You're gonna be more energized. And it's not until you cut the other stuff out. Like I turned that route, I think, in '91, and like if I eat a piece of meat or something today, my stomach is fucked up.
Yeah.
It's twisted turby, and you're gonna feel that same thing. You'll go back once in a while, and you're like, oh hell no. There's always something to remind you that this ain't what's supposed to be in my system. I can't do it.
No, I actually feel better than I've felt in a long time, and
amazing, right?
I don't miss eating chicken, meat, bacon.
All that inflammation's out of your system.
The inflammation, it's my level of energy.
Yeah,
I'm pooping like a champ.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You don't even think about it. It flies.
And it's got to be a good sign of good health. And you know what really did it for me? I was watching a video by a Dr. Neil Barnard, and he and all the other guys that I follow talk about how this is the only diet, the only eating plan that is known to scientifically proven to reverse heart disease, which is the #1 killer in America.
Yep.
Wouldn't you think that a diet that has no side effects, that has the ability to reverse heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and a lot of other chronic diseases and illnesses, wouldn't that be your default diet, your go-to diet? No. But what really did it for me, Dr. Barnard said, the scary thing about heart disease is that for many people, the first time they find out they have it is when they die of a heart attack.
That's right.
Yeah.
I was 61 years old, 350 pounds. I was on a fast track to premature death and heart disease. I know I was. I know that incident in the Barnes & Noble was divine intervention. No one could tell me otherwise. And for 3 days, it was a little difficult. And after 3 days, it became, I love eating this way now. And that's why I know I'm going to be able to sustain myself on this.
Because you get excited about it.
I'm psyched, and I'm showing other people how to do this. how to think thin, how to just prepare your meals, simplify your get the shit out of your house. That's another thing. Clean environment.
Clean it out.
If it's in your house, it's in your mouth. That's the phrase that I got. So you got to just clean it up, simplify it, and that's all I did. It was nothing. 100 pounds, I guess, is a lot of weight, but it's 5.5, 6 pounds a month, eminently doable. And I have another 45 to go, and it's all right here in my belly, and I'm going to do it. My projected goal date is May 3rd, 2023. I started the diet on my daughter's birthday. Not the diet. I started this program for myself on March 14th, 2021. It's my daughter's birthday, and I'm going to reach my ideal weight of 205 pounds on my wife's birthday in next May.
Beautiful.
We talk about, and Fred, you teach this. You teach a clarity, right? Definite purpose, writing the goals down, like knowing clear, concise, and people don't think of using the same formula. And you didn't. You didn't use the formula for your own health for all these years. You're coaching, you're teaching people how to succeed in their business, their relationships, and there it was. Hello, Fred. You could also use the same teachings for your diet, and here you are doing it.
Exactly right, Bobby. That's exactly right. I went out to Sacramento, California to deliver a speech, and while I was out there was a company that was doing videotaping, and they were interviewing you after the speech, and you put together a speaker demo that I could give to clients. And I thought, wow, it's a few $100, whatever. I said, yeah, why don't you videotape the speech, and then you can interview me afterwards, put it together. It sounds like a great idea. I got that demo back, and I said, I can't send this to anyone. Look how fat I am. I was 350 pounds. I looked like a teenage grizzly bear walking up and down the stage. I was disgusted with myself. And like I told you before, I always look for the outside in solution. And it hit me that I've used Think and Grow Rich was one of the first books I read on personal development. And in that book, he has success principles, and he has a template of you write down the specific amount of money you want to have, the date that you want to have it, and what you're going to do in exchange for it. And I've used that many times to achieve a lot of goals. And it struck me, why can't I use this for a health and a weight loss goal? So I got out an index card, which I keep with me at all times. I wrote out, on or before May 3rd, 2023, I am so happy and grateful now that I have reached my ideal weight of 205 pounds. I am divinely guided in this effort. I am achieved this goal through plant-based whole food eating, moving my body daily, getting 1% better every day, speaking affirmations, and using the success principles. And as I'm writing the word success principles, I was going to write of Think and Grow Rich. I stopped, I put my pen down, I went, Think and Grow Thin.
Great.
Oh my God, why did I never think of this before?
Right.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to think and grow thin. I'm going to use the success principles of Think and Grow Rich to bring about the changes in my health and weight. And that's after I wrote that down, then I created the program for myself. And I'm taking, I have about 30 people going through a hybrid program, which I'm going to finalize at the end of this year and then bring it out into the world. I want to help thousands of people do this. That's my purpose in life.
Mike, I rediscovered. I mean, Fred and I have been Facebook friends for forever, and just casually, every now and then, we'll obviously like each other's stuff. I mean, he's a Bostonian, so we're not really that close. He likes the Red Sox, by the way. That team that shit in the bed this year.
Are they ever?
Yeah, but Fred and I've always admired Fred, but casually on Facebook. But lately I was watching I knew he started this weight progression, and I loved seeing that. But lately he's been posting almost daily. Am I right, Fred? Like pretty much video every day?
Right. What happened was I'm in a mastermind group, and we were talking one day. I forget, it was 100 or so days ago when I started this. And they said, when is your goal? When do you project the goal is going to manifest? I said, almost a little over a year. And the one guy who leads the mastermind group says, you need to post something every day on your favorite social media every day for the year leading up. And it's going to challenge you because you're going to have to come up with new material, and photos and videos or whatever. And today is day 134, 135 in a row. So it has challenged me to post, content, but it's been helpful to me to hold myself accountable to a bigger group. And I'm getting a lot of great feedback from people who are getting a lot of good distinctions from the content that I'm posting. So it's been a win-win. And it's got another 200 or so days to go. And the last day of the post, I'm going to do a live weigh-in, and I'll be at my ideal weight 205. That's what I'm projecting out.
How freaking cool is that?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I see these posts, Mike, and I'm like, and I listened to the last few, and I'm like, holy shit! I mean, what a great story. I mean, what better story than this?
Unbelievable. I love it.
And like I said, this guy's been doing this. He's been teaching folks how to get their shit together, but yet he was ignoring his own health. And then finally it hit him, and then he used the same exact formula. And they say this, right, Fred? And you know this, Mike, when you're teaching something, it actually educates you as you're going, right? Like like you said, you feel more accountable. So maybe you sharpen up your skill set. It keeps you on that level where, hey, if I'm talking a good game, I better be doing it. So that's why every day you're talking, you can't fall off the wagon, right? I mean,
absolutely. It's accountability times 10.
Exactly.
And one of the things that struck me when I saw that video, the demo video, I thought, who's going to hire a fat success coach? Why did this never hit me before? And for whatever reason, it took till I was 61 and 350 pounds. I can remember when I stepped on the scale and I saw 350. The first thought I had was, I'm as close to 400 pounds as I am to 300. And that disgusted me. And I said, I'm going to do what it takes. But the first thing I thought to do was to say a prayer. It's the first time I ever thought to give it to prayer. Why did that just pop into my mind?
Yeah.
Why didn't I do that every time? I mean, God created our body. He knows more about my body than I do. So, I finally did it the right way, and I'm on a really good path. And in the daily Facebook posts and the mastermind accountability and the groups that I'm leading through Think and Grow Thin, I have to step up every day. I can't let them down. I can't let myself down. And that's really keeping me really acutely attached to my goal. And I read the index card twice a day, every day without fail. First thing in the morning and right before I go to bed. And a lot of times I read it throughout the day. I'll read it a couple more times. So I'm constantly reinforcing the idea that I am 205 pounds. I'm living as a 205 pound man, not as a 250 or a guy that's losing 100 pounds. I am 200. From day one, I was 205 pounds. I was thinking, acting, and assuming a feeling of the wish fulfilled, which is the law of assumption, which I've read a lot. That's Neville Goddard. Good stuff.
The auto suggestion, right?
Auto-suggestion.
You're basically brainwashing yourself.
You are. You're making statements of truth. What is your truth? You decide.
Yeah.
Today is a day of completion. Today I choose success. I am divinely guided in this effort. I say these things. If you ever drove down the Long Island Expressway and you see a guy animatedly talking to himself, that's me.
Yeah.
People think I'm crazy. I'm talking affirmations. I think Mike mentioned before about his intention. I speak my intention statements every morning as well. Today, I intend to be a positive presence in the workplace. Today, I intend to leave everyone with a feeling of increase. Today, I intend success. Today, I intend to be 205 pounds. When you state those things aloud and you can hear your own voice saying them, you don't go through the day just casually, nonchalantly going through the motions. You are fired up. You're giving yourself a reason to get moving, to fulfill your purpose that day. And that's auto-suggestion. That's right from Think and Grow Rich, along with all the other great success principles he's got in there: desire, persistence, definiteness of purpose.
Yeah.
It works.
It's funny, Fred. I took a course with a company called Entra. It's like a weekend course, and there's about 200 or so folks in it. Really tremendous, dig into your own mind type course. 3 full days of real intense thinking, like self-analyzation. And I'll never forget Saturday, the instructor came up and he said, we're gonna give the whole audience a question. Um, so when you're looking to do something, he basically said to the audience, how much of it is purpose, your commitment, your intent, and how much of is it the mechanism? And he's like, just give us the percentages of each. Is it 50-50? Is it 70-30? Like your guess. And man, I was like, I said, it's 100-0. It's 100% purpose and 0% mechanism. And people were like, no, it's got to be 80-20. And I knew the answer. I was like, it's 100-0, because when you have 100% purpose, you find the mechanism comes to you. Like it's to you. You walked into the store and the book, holy shit, it was there. Right? I mean, the mechanism for which you didn't start with the mechanism. Now, that was the mistake you were making all the years.
Right.
Thinking mechanism first. But
Right.
if you put your mind, if the purpose is so strong, this thing that we have here is so powerful that it finds the mechanism for us.
It's you are a broadcasting station.
Yes.
You are broadcasting that image, your thought, into the intelligent substance that we're all immersed in.
Yeah.
And if you're operating with the idea that you're going to find, don't worry about it. Cast no anxious thoughts to tomorrow, the great teacher said. Just follow your intuition. Create that plan, and every day is a day of fulfillment, a day of completion. I've changed a lot about the way I'm operating in the year and a half that I've been doing this. And that's because of my intention. I intend to get 1% better every day. And most days I will find something that I can do a little bit better.
Right.
And we were talking in a group recently about, if you get 1% better, that means, you'll be 360 degrees better at the end of the year. And I said, wrong. You'll be 3,600% because of the compound interest of making those changes. And now you're turning that into a habit, and that habit is giving birth to other habits. And a lot of things have changed. One of the things that I heard when I first started this is, after 50, it's difficult to lose weight. Bullshit. I don't care how old you are, and I don't care how overweight you are. And there's all kinds of excuses you can come up with. Your thyroid, your metabolism. That's BS too. Make a decision. This is what I want to weigh. This is how I want to feel. Write it down, and then get after it. And be 100% passionate about, as you said, Bob, the mechanism, the ways, the type of eating that you're going to have, the type of food you should be eating, the type of activity that you're going to put your body through. All of that stuff will be revealed to you. Don't worry about it. Set your intention, make that your goal, your number one chief aim in life, and follow the precepts of the Think and Grow Rich, or the Think and Grow Thin, in my case, program. It really is that simple.
Now, if people are watching this, because obviously we promoted this, and I'm sure it's going to get. We typically will get like 400 or 500 views. It's probably going to be double that. Some people are going to be watching this and be like disappointed. Oh, I was looking for, what he eats at 2:00, what he eats at 1. And this is the problem with people. Like we're giving you the real way to straighten your shit out. Like we're fixing this first.
Right.
When this is right, everything else follows. Because you said something very key, Fred, and I'm one of these. Maybe I'm a jerk off, and maybe I'm cynical. But when I see an overweight success guy, I'm telling you, I don't have as much respect, because I say to myself, this guy's not successful.
Right.
He's not, because he's going to die young. He's not respecting his own body. He's not respecting his family. Like this is the way I think, and I can't be alone. So if I look at a guy who's just completely devoid of self-control, that he can't, stop himself from eating 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day, I'm supposed to follow him down a path, even though he might be rich, right? His business might be successful, but Fred, he's going to be dead at 65, and his last 5-10 years of his life, he's going to be in and out of hospitals and miserable. And yet, so that's why I look at what you're saying is so critical. You fix your mind, the rest follows.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. When I went out to do that speech in Sacramento, extremely well received. A lot of people came up to me after and said how affected they were, how much they really enjoyed my speech. I didn't get one single speech from that. Not one.
Wow.
I was disappointed in that, of course. But now I look back at the demo and I'm like, who would hire this guy? This fat shit. I mean, it was how I was blind to it. My wife said something really cool recently. We were looking at some old pictures and there was really bad, very overweight. And she said, I feel like that movie, Shallow Hal, the movie Shallow Hal, where he saw through the obesity and saw the woman for who she was. She said, that's how I feel. Maybe I responded to you, because she never nagged me about being overweight. She always prayed that I would find the right path. But she was treating me like Shallow Hal treated that overweight woman that he loved. And I thought it was a great metaphor. And in fact, that was one of the entries I made on Facebook. I just had one of my coaching clients, Peggy. Typed in a great. If it's to be, it's up to me.
That's right.
That's the saying. That's the attitude you have to have. You know, you can get in a good mastermind group. You can have a good coach. You can do a lot of. You can do, but ultimately it comes down to when you wake up in the morning, as Mike said right at the beginning. He wakes up, he's ready to go. He's going to do his best today. He's going to make today a day of completion. Today is going to be something that is going to build on a better tomorrow. And that's really all I did. I got busy with it a year and a half ago, and I've gotten a little bit better every day. And now I have, there's a lot on the line. I have a lot of people that I'm coaching. I'm accountable to a big group on Facebook. And that has really worked in my favor. It's almost a selfish thing that I did to put that out there, but it's helped a lot of people as well. So I'm pretty psyched about that.
Now, Fred, tell us, give us a typical day now. Like, so give us because you probably have a lot of similarities from day to day, I'm assuming.
I do.
Give us a typical Fred Ford day.
I do quiet time first thing in the morning after I read my goal. So me and God time. I usually write after I do the quiet time. And then I do either a bike ride or a walk from say 6:30 till about 8. I take a 90-minute bike ride or a 90-minute walk. And on the weekends, I do back-to-back. I do a walk and a bike ride. And then we have breakfast. Usually breakfast is oatmeal with berries and flaxseed and some kind of fruit and oat milk. I don't do any dairy. We usually make lunches right there, and we plan for our dinner. And usually we plan our meals on Sunday night for the entire week. So we just review it. And then I get to work. I do, I work all day. A lot of times I'm doing coaching calls at night. So I work a lot of hours. And then I usually get to bed 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I get up early and start all over again. So I do repeat a lot of the same things, and I eat a lot of the same things too. But I'm eating a great variety of plant food, whole food plants, not a lot of processed food at all, not any sugar. I've cut way back on alcohol intake. I drink a lot of water, a lot of green tea. I've gotten it to the point where I have a really good routine that I love. I love doing this, and I have a great purpose and passion to help people. And I am helping a lot of people in these groups, and they're helping me. So it really has been the last year and a half has been the best year and a half of my life coaching career by far. And now I've found my niche. I'm a product of the product.
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna coach people, and when people come to me and they're 300 or 400 pounds, I'm gonna say, all right, I was there. I can relate to you. I know what you're going through. You got to cut it out. You got to get intentional. You have to make a decision that you're going to be at a certain weight by a certain time, and let's do it. So that's basically where I'm at right now in my coaching career and my life.
So typically, what would you say? Do you count calories during the day or no?
I don't. I kept a food journal for 4 weeks where I wrote everything down, and it was really very revealing because I learned a lot about my triggers. I learned that I was an emotional eater. I was also a boredom eater. When I got a little bored, I would just go to the refrigerator. So I learned a lot about my triggers and about my behaviors. And I also learned a lot about food because I was writing everything down, the macronutrients, the calories, the fiber, which is so big that gets overlooked in the conversations about nutrition. You need fiber. And 92% of Americans don't get a sufficient amount of fiber because there is no fiber in meat, chicken, fish, cheese, all the stuff that I was eating. Fiber is plant roughage. The only thing and you need to feed your gut biome, in order to have a healthy gut, which again also gets overlooked. But that's the way that I'm approaching this thing. Get a little bit better every day. Plan your meals in advance. And we don't eat out a lot at restaurants. We eat out once in a while, but we do a lot of stuff here, and I love it. I love cooking dinner. I love prepping a nice salad or soup for lunch. We're just really very intentional about it. Mike said it in the very first sentence. He said, setting his intention. That's really what I've been doing. I've been setting an intention every day, and I've been fulfilling that intention through right action, right thought, and just moving in the right direction, even when I'm having a lousy day.
Yeah.
You just transcend that lousy day by saying, some days are not going to go your way. That's just the law of rhythm, so there you go.
So Fred, how about, Mark Walk, great, some people chiming in. Mark says, thank you for the input.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I love all this. Fred is my new hero. Look at you, Fred. You got and Kelly. The only reason Kelly's saying that is because she's another mass hole. She's from up there too. She's another one that talks funny like you.
Yeah.
But so cheat days, because a lot of people are watching this now. It's, oh my God. I mean, do you ever like say, all right, fuck it, man, I'm gonna have a milkshake?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yes. Love it, Fred. Love that.
I don't. We write down what we're going to eat, and then we just follow the plan. I don't even let it enter my mind.
Yes.
On my birthday, we used to go every year on my birthday to this steakhouse in Islip called Teller's Chop House. Great place. They have a big ribeye, 28-ounce ribeye that they now charge $139 for one steak. But anyway, I hadn't had a steak. I hadn't had any red meat at all in a year and a half. And I said to my wife on my birthday, I said, you know what? I feel like having a steak on my birthday. Let's go have a steak. And I had about 8 bites of the steak. It didn't taste the same to me because my taste buds have changed. And I probably won't have another steak for a long time, maybe not ever. And I don't miss it. I love eating this way. I feel better. I've developed a new taste. I've got a wide variety of whole food, plant-based food that I now eat. And to answer your question, no, I don't have cheat days. I don't believe in cheat days. I would be like going to a marriage counselor and saying, you guys ought to have like cheat days every once a month, and you just go out with some other woman or another man, and it'll be really good because you're tempted, and why not? And, to me, it's the same thing. You're going to eat this way. Commitment is 100%. Commitment is 100%. There's no such thing as partly committed. You're either committed or you're not. So what I told my wife way back when, which I've said many times over to her, is I'm making 100% commitment to eat this way 99% of the time. Once in a while, I'll have, I still haven't had any cheese. I haven't had a cheeseburger, but I've had I had a little chicken one time. I've had shrimp cocktail. I had the steak on my birthday, but that's a year and a half. I'm okay doing that. Having that occasional thing that I like to eat that I know is not altogether the best choice, but I like the flavor of. It's not going to kill me to have a couple bites of a steak or a shrimp cocktail or whatever. But I still haven't had any cheese. I haven't had any burgers or hot dogs or pizza or any of that stuff. I eat very little sugary foods and no sugary drinks. I'm making 100% commitment to that, and I'm completely happy eating the way I am.
It's biggest I try to tell people is you got to eat for a purpose, not so much for your pleasure. Your pleasure will become your purpose.
Yeah.
And when you twist these words around, you'll understand. I mean, I know you do, Fred. You understand that your pleasure is the purpose of how you eat. And we talk about cheat days. We talk about, well, I always say in a joking way, but not a joking way. You used all your cheat days up.
Right.
Your whole entire life has been a cheat day.
Correct.
So what makes you think you deserve to have cheat days? Get to the weight, get to your goal, get to your true purpose, and see how you feel. That's your cheat. You just did it. You just succeeded. You won't need to cheat, just like you said, even when you go to a marriage counselor, that whole bit. Like, I love that analogy. You don't need to cheat when you're on that mission, when you have that purpose, and you know what it's doing for yourself.
You really don't.
You don't want to. You don't want to.
You develop a desire, and it becomes a habit. This is now a habitual way of eating.
Yeah.
And, and staying connected with the goal, with the index card, and with the groups. I mean, whatever you have to do. I told someone the other day. They said, "So what do I have to do?" I said, "You only have to do one thing. That's whatever it takes."
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. One thing.
Awesome.
But of course, that is a big umbrella. You have to be passionate.
Define it. Yeah.
You have to be passionate about it. You have to, you have to be constantly going back to that goal.
Mm-hmm.
I have an image of myself at 205 pounds. I was a senior in college. That's the weight I'm going back to. And I look at that picture every single day, and I pretend as if I'm looking in a mirror. And I speak affirmations. I am loving life at 205 pounds. I am healthy. I am sexy. I am energetic. This is easy. It's not. But I keep saying that those are.
You got to keep telling yourself. What you tell yourself all day long is what's going to happen, what you're going to become.
Absolutely.
And that's what people are missing. People, they look at themselves and they speak doom and gloom because they surround themselves with people with doom and gloom, or they're like, man, like you said earlier, you have a mastermind group. You surround people who have the same kind of purpose, the same intentions that you have, and that's the key. You got to surround yourself with people that want the same things that you want, and it becomes a lot easier.
That is such a great point, and it's such an overlooked thing. Sometimes you just got to say, whom am I surrounding myself with, and what purpose are they serving as far as my business or my passion or my life. Sometimes you got to move on from people.
Yep.
And that really, the mastermind, of course, is another principle in Think and Grow Rich.
Sure.
The mastermind group, and I've led mastermind group studies of Think and Grow Rich, and I have those people in my life to this day. And this was back in 2008 when I first met Bobby. I was doing a lot of mastermind groups. I still stay in touch with those people. You surrounding yourself with great people who are like-minded, who support, and vice versa. That's a key. That's a great point, Mike.
And you got to be careful, not the enablers, because it's no different from like an alcoholic, issue where you're gonna go to people like, oh, don't worry, you can have one drink, you can do this, you can do that. No, maybe you can't. You can't put yourself you can't say, you know what, I'm gonna give up alcohol, but I'm gonna hang out in the bar every weekend.
Right.
That's you're screwing yourself. You got to be true to yourself.
Yeah. True.
So Fred, if someone wants to follow you, obviously you're here on Facebook.
Yeah.
They can you accept strange friend requests, I'm sure. Because you're gonna get a bunch from this. You know that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Bring it on.
Because we're strange people. We have a lot of strange friends.
That's good. I'm in good company.
Good.
Yeah. And as far as if someone wants to reach out to you to join this Thinking Growth Thing group? Is it something that's open? Do you have a Facebook page?
I'm going to be starting new groups at the start of next year. If they want to get in touch with me just to get some general information about it, they can send an email, fred@ourdailyfred.net.
Let me see if I can type that in so I can put that. Maybe I can write it in across the banner. Hold on 1 second.
And I did start a YouTube channel that I'm posting some videos, 2-minute, 3-minute videos about the Think and Grow Thin and about the journey that I'm on. And my YouTube channel is Fred Ford Think and Grow Thin.
All right, hold on. I'm going to put that up here so people can, because I'd like to see if I can plug this in somehow. Just give me a sec.
Sure.
So give me that email first, Fred. What was it?
Fred at our daily fred.net.
.net.
Our Daily Fred is the name of my newsletter, where I post some things that I've excerpts of books that I've read, and then I give my Freditorial, which is my take on that particular excerpt. I've been doing that since 2008. I've written about 4,000 newsletters. So
4,000.
It's
wow, awesome,
good stuff. Good stuff.
And what's the YouTube channel? He said
YouTube channel is Fred Ford Think and Grow Thin.
Fred, let me write that in. Fred Ford Think, and is it and the word and?
And grow thin.
Grow thin. All right, let's see if I can put this across here. And I'm blind. How's that? Did that come out good?
Perfect.
Fred at ourdailyfred.net.
Right.
YouTube, Fred Ford Think and Grow Thin. So anybody that's watching, take a screenshot. This is where you get a hold of this guy. He's lost 100 pounds. He's got 50 more to go. 45 more. I'm sorry. Right. You got to be precise.
You got to
be precise.
Clear, concise mental picture.
Specific. Be specific. Be bold, and set a goal that you have no idea how you're going to achieve. That's important.
Love it, man.
Because that gets you into that what we were talking about. The passion, the 100%, and the how will be revealed. If you're passionate enough about it, if you have a lot of good reasons why, and I have a lot of good reasons, one of which is to say thank you to God every day, which I didn't. I wasn't thumbing my nose to God by having a fat body, but I was being disrespectful of my parents. I was being disrespectful of God for the body He gave me. I've kind of woken up to that. And so one of my whys that I'm doing this is so I can say thank you every day. Thank you for this body. I'm going to take care of this from now on. And of course, be around for my wife and my daughter and help thousands, maybe millions of people. We're a country that the 21st century American is overfed, undernourished, and hypermedicated.
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't think anyone could dispute me on that. And
not at all.
Us individually and collectively with groups like you and shows like this and coaches who are going to devote themselves to this, we have to collectively and individually, we have to turn this around. The obesity epidemic is a disgrace, and I was part of it. So I'm not saying that I'm above it, but the time came for me, and hopefully I can help people to have that same epiphany.
Fred, one other thing, and I'm going to let you go, and I appreciate you taking this time tonight.
My pleasure.
So there's also a lack of education, and a lot of it is, there's two forms of ignorance, right? There's the willful ignorance, and then there's just, hey, I don't know any better. And like Mike, you said it before, talk about books, and the first thing that you said, like this book here talks about reversing heart disease through your diet.
Yeah.
Just what you said. And it's obviously talks about specific supplements that Mike and I promote, the Pro-Argin, I know me and Mike and I always talk about. Mm-hmm. But the problem is in our industry, in our world, in our medical industry, that information is not readily available and is not going to be given to you by your medical doctor. Your medical doctor is going to see a heart issue and he's going to give you a pill and say, here's what you do. And most of us go in line and go, okay, I'm going to take a pill for the rest of my life. And that's not health. That's not fixing the problem.
Agreed.
That's just
100%.
that's just covering it up. So a big difference to what you're saying, like you said, we're over medicated. We also need to wake up and do our own due diligence.
Amen.
We need to stop listening to others and do the work ourselves to find the right answers. Because unfortunately, in America, it's a cloudy area. It's a cloudy library, Fred.
100% of what you just said is true. And here's something that I didn't know until I started looking at it. First of all, one of the doctors that I follow, Dr. Joel Furman, he says you need to become your own nutrition expert because there's so much information. One of the common denominators I find with people who are struggling with their weight, they're confused. Who's telling me the truth? Is it okay to eat meat? Is it not? Is it, it's so you need to become your own nutrition expert. And all of these doctors know that you can reverse heart disease through a healthy diet. It's been known for years. Dean Ornish's study 17 years ago. But here's the sad part. Doctors in their 8 years of schooling have 2 weeks on nutrition.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
They could be subscribing whole food, plant-based eating to reverse heart disease. But you're right, Bob. What do? They're making money subscribing pills because Big Pharma is paying for the college that they're in, and the system is rigged to reward unhealthy eating. That's the system we're in, and we have to stand up.
Stop it.
No
Stop it.
That's it. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not gonna buy the food just because it's on TV and they have a great pitch person. I'm gonna eat food that doesn't have any profit margin to it. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna make any money for Coca-Cola anymore.
Yeah.
One of the greatest lines I ever heard was, the medical and the pharmaceutical industry makes a lot of dollars, but they don't make a lot of sense. Right? And that's exactly. I'm so proud, Fred, man. I really appreciate you coming on. And
thanks a lot, Fred. Appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I enjoyed it.
Before we get the most feedback we ever got on our show, and appreciate it. We look forward to following. We'll have you back on when you do hit that 45. We'll have you back on, and we'll go through the story again.
I'll be ready.
Thanks,
Let's
Fred.
do it.
Hey, brother.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Be good, Fred.
Mike, unbelievable.
That was a great. He spoke real well, and I loved everything he said. I mean, especially how he changed it around, because we talk about this all the time. You got to lead by example, and he was out there doing his thing, but he wasn't leading by example. He said, "No, I'm going to change that around." He saw himself. He needed to see himself in a way that he didn't like for him to say, "Nah, I'm done being that person, and I want to lead by example." And look at him now. Now he is an example of success in all areas, which is amazing. That's what you want to follow. You want to follow people like that.
Music's coming on. It means we're getting thrown out.
We're getting thrown out.
Getting thrown out. Great show, brother.
Great show, my man.
Glad you're alive.
Oh, dude. Thank you so much, and we're going to keep it kicking.
Love you, brother.
Love you, too. You still there?